picked up a light. I got it used from one of the local saltwater groups here in the Jacksonville area. This individual actually happened to be about an hour south of me in St. Augustine. So I was able to work out, a deal with him. I offered to pay for shipping and he shipped me the light. It's an AI Hydra Prime 16 HD. Upon arrival, I noticed it was making a little bit of a funny noise, and I looked down and noticed there's a blade missing from the fan on the inside, and it was making a little bit of a rattle of noise. So I reached out to the guy. He was super cool, apologetic. I'm not sure of the situation. I don't think he was running the light. He had just said immediately, I want to make this right, and how about I ship you a new fan, from AI's supply store. And so it's really appreciative. I said that would be great. And so he shipped me a new fan. This is the new fan. It looks like just a couple of screws and you plug it in one spot. So hopefully it's pretty straightforward and the noise will stop. I didn't have to think too hard about the first fish to put into the desktop tank. I knew right away I was going to do a couple of clownfish, so headed up to the local fish store I go to often, BioReef in Jacksonville. They always have a good selection of healthy fish, and sure enough, they had all types of clowns to take a look at, and I wasn't overly picky. I was just gonna go in with an open mind and kind of make a decision on the spot. So I took a look. I really liked their Picasso clownfish, really cool design, and so my plan was going to be try one of those with a more basic Ocellaris clownfish, just because the Picasso has a little bit of a higher price tag on it. And the owner was nice enough to scoop both of those out, put them in a tank together just to kind of see how they would do. Unfortunately, it didn't go well. As you can see here, the smaller clown tries to submit to the Picasso, but it just kept going after it. I only have a small clip here, but we let it go for quite some time and it was pretty relentless, and just don't think it would have worked out long term. So then I tried the other Picasso they had, and again, the smaller clownfish submitted right away. They seemed like that they would do just fine, but after looking at them for a while, I just honestly didn't like the pale color of that other Picasso. So what I ended up doing was just going with two basic Ocellaris clownfish. I did get kind of the deepest colors of the selection that they had on site, and got some pretty cool ones, and they are getting along just fine and doing great. For coral in the desktop tank, I am going to take some coral out of the larger tank in the living room, starting with this bubble coral that you see here. Unfortunately, it's just not doing well. It doesn't seem to matter where I place it in this tank. It just kind of stays shriveled up, and it's certainly not as big as it was when I bought it. And so I'm hoping all it is the higher flow, and that the more gentle flow in the desktop tank will help it recover. So we're gonna start with that one and track it over time and see how it does. That's gonna be it for today's update. I did have some additional content around the salt that I use, reef crystals, and some trouble that I was having trying to match the parameters of the desktop tank with the 190.5. That particular bucket of reef crystals, the calcium and magnesium levels were testing really elevated. The calcium specifically was off the charts. I couldn't even get a reading with my Salifert kit. So I did a little bit of work there. We're in good shape, but going forward, I have decided to use Instant Ocean, hoping for some lower levels on those parameters. I'll post a short or two on some of that testing. With that, if you saw the last video, you know I went to the September meetup of our local club, and I was able to pick up some additional corals that are in the tank now, and we are definitely in the thick of the ugly stage. So I'll post some additional updates on that, as well as what's going on with the Waterbox 190.5 to make sure you don't miss any of that. As always, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification, and we will see you in the next one.